Testing, testing. Oh, shit. All right. One second. Don't move. All right. Excuse me. Sorry. Fuck, Dad was sleeping in the truck. I guess not. I don't know where he is. Uh, Harold came to pick up his stuff. All right. His truck's here. So I don't know. That's confusing. I don't know. I've been keeping up. I just woke up. Okay, so I've been thinking, as someone who's not rich, unfortunately, in a pro money world, and also a subscriber of both the highest tier Game Pass and not the highest tier Gamefly, but hey, buddy, say hello. How I think everything should be included in Game Pass and PlayStation's highest tier. I've been sitting here thinking, if Gamefly can do it, the only difference is that Game Pass and PlayStation Plus are digital. That's the only difference. There's already a rental service that will give you the game. Not on day, well, on day one. Gamefly, the catch is it's just shipping. They'll ship on day one, but they don't actually get here on day one. So, take for example, sometimes I'll have a game like Lego Batman that I didn't go out to. I mean, I would buy if I was rich as hell, but I'm not rich as hell. I have to make choices. Like most Americans have to make choices, unfortunately. We don't have that live that luxurious rich life. So, you know, I chose to buy 007, but I did not, choose to buy Lego Batman. I chose to rent that one, right? So things like that. That one took a little bit longer to get here, or still not here actually. So sometimes in the mail it's slower. So in a way, like if there was a digital provider, like if let's say if Gamefly decided to create a whole all streaming service, it would all be there on day one. That's the difference. The only problem is with GameFly is shipping. That's really what it is. Like you could be waiting from sometimes 2 days after, which is I think is the earliest I've ever gotten it. It's like 2 days after the release, but and then other times a whole week after, like this whole 7 friggin' days, and 8. Hey, buddy, what's up, brother? But yeah, some bettings, brother. Oh, I'm sorry. Morning to you too. All right, so like it certainly would help out, and it would figure out where would people go. Where would you go if the Game Pass was on more than one thing also, or if GameFly decided to do that? Because does Xbox have to do that or PlayStation? They just block the cert like people from going there and block people from renting games because there's GameFly. If that's the problem, see what I'm saying? I'm sure it's not the problem, the rental part. You'd think that they would want in on that instead. Look at it this way. Would you buy games? Like, how many games would you buy if they were all in a rent, if you're paying a rental fee of 30 something dollars? I think my game, I forget the actual price, it's 30 something dollars. But then the problem is that, again, I pay 30 something dollars for gameplay a month, and I get every single get this game on day one, the day one version. Every single one, no matter who publishes, as long as there's a disc, as long as there is a disc version. The pro, but other words, let me finish because I feel like I fucking folded in words there. But hey, buddy, is again, I repeat, I do not, I myself don't like the fact of fucking the long ass shipping periods at times. So it's like, where you wait for like they'll so here, send it out this day, even in the elite or whatever the fuck it is, where you get like 2 games in the elite thing, because that's the only thing I actually use in GameFly. Come to think about it, I don't rent old games in GameFly. I rent new games that are in the box marker, right? So to guarantee shipping. Because when I used to do GameFly when I was younger, the queue, I before that existed, the I forget what they call it, the reserve and guarantee shipping on your pre on the game before it releases didn't exist. That didn't exist, and instead what existed was just the queue. And the queue would determine on availability, and that was it. There was no guarantee on whether you would receive it or not. It used to be, you know, even before it was before you can. So, what is strange is that you can reserve and get a guarantee with the I don't know, elite, and so, but sometimes even in the elite, I noticed They didn't ship out Lego Batman, I believe, until yesterday, if I recall. Or was it the day before? I don't know. But it was either, I think it was, it wasn't exactly on the same day by the looks of it, or well, at least what it's telling me. But or maybe they did and they just forgot to update it because sometimes I had a game sitting there that I returned and it tells me that I didn't return it or it just doesn't recognize it. It keeps saying it's at home. When I'm like, come on, you guys must have received it by now. You know what I mean? Like, because I already sent it back. But it's odd because it's just how it is. And then you hit the fast return and things like that, which help in advance. But you got to keep up with doing that. And to be honest, it probably helps when you hit that, like right after, not really before you put it in the mailbox. It's probably more convenient if you hit it like right after you put it in the mailbox, even though it says like you can hit it and then put it in the mailbox. I don't do that. If I do that, I'll hit it right after I put it in the mailbox. But like, if I freaking remember to hit it though on that day, so yeah, I'm saying like it is something that I find that I sometimes miss to hit because after I already sent it out, and I'm like, oh shit, I probably should hit that, uh, whatever the one of the return things, and set it so they're kind of like, if you think about it, it's some of it. That's why I personally think like if Game Pass came out with every game for 30 something or 40 something dollars, 30, 40, 50 is too much. Maybe 40 something, depending on how good the service is. But 30 something dollars for a month is probably, the better offer. That will include every single uh, game, like every single digital game for rent. Like, imagine, how you would handle that. Well, GameFly does not give you the collector's edition through the rental service. They do not give you all the DLC. You're renting the base game. So keep that in mind. Like, they could still sell on these upgrades. You know how many times I didn't buy a game, but I actually bought the upgrade instead? See what I'm saying? Because the upgrade was just way more convenient, and it was like, because if I were to buy that game, I might not have ever gotten the all of the DLC to begin with, or all of the stuff, right? So it's in a way like it's in Game Pass, you get to get access to all of it. So like one day it's gonna be like if they get rid of Game Pass, people are gonna have like DLC for games they don't even know, which is already a thing if you have discs that you already got rid of. Because if you think about it, I don't have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 or anymore, or any of those older games that I used to have because they're all on disc. And I don't have those discs anymore, but I have all of the DLC because I had the collectors. See what I'm saying? Or things like that where I had like the maps and all that stuff that don't do me any good because I don't even have the damn game anymore. See what I'm saying? Not that I would play it, as it is severely outdated. I am actually thinking about playing MW4. I might jump back into Call of Duty for MW4. I was always Modern Warfare, even though Black Ops was more popular, and I like Black Ops 1 probably the most. So it's like, I thought it was very creative the way they did it. But like, after that, I thought it started losing a little bit of its creativity from Black Ops 1. But Modern Warfare 4, which is Modern Warfare 7, or is it Modern Warfare 8? Because this gets confusing. Because it's like, because there is, I'm pretty sure there's a secret one somewhere that I think was only exclusive on somebody's handheld or something, or somewhere, or just a variant. I don't remember this. Call of Duty 4, which is the first original Modern Warfare, and then there is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which was probably my most played Call of Duty game ever. And then there was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and I think there's variants of Modern Warfare. That's right, because there was a Nintendo DS version even of Call of Duty 4. I never played it, but I remember seeing it. So it's three those. So then they, instead of doing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, they decided to do Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which was the last Modern Warfare that I played, if I recall. And then they did Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, and I did not play. I don't think I did. I don't remember playing them. So I just kind of like I fell off the wagon. And then so the Modern Warfare 4, it is the seventh, I guess. That's weird. I will shave, have my beard, dress up as Captain Price for Halloween. One year I thought about it because someone once called me Captain Price. Like, like I looked like Captain Price once, but I don't know. So I just entertained the idea of maybe doing it like a stupid costume or something, but I never ended up doing it for the character Captain Price. But yeah, I would not have bought. I probably would not have bought it since I don't have the physical versions anyway. Resident Evil, Requiem, of the best games that came out this year. That is all. That is probably a fact. Because what's the point if I'm renting them? I would be more keen. It'd be more keen for them to sell better DLC, and that you buy the DLC, upgrade through it instead. The thing is, I think some people fear what that can do, but what's absurd about it is it's not really new renting day one things. It's just different ways of renting. It's the ideology of how far is a company willing to go. Xbox would definitely dominate and win the consumers if they decided to put every single game day one, you know, thing, Ubisoft, every or whatever, every single game that ever goes on the Xbox store, give the exception of PC only for Windows for if it's just Xbox Series consoles. So it's like, but if it's others, it's just like they could just do that. You see what I'm saying? It's the next console as a PC Xbox hybrid. So it's like You'll get both versions anyway on the console, the next console. So I saw this console in my mind. I kept originally what I called it was the P and C because it was being honest, which stood for personal computer, but also stood for portable and console variants, where it was saying, yes, this Xbox is a PC console. Um, this Xbox also, well, the C, the X comes with a disk drive. The C probably will because it is the console. The P, there really isn't a need. I mean, to put that in the portable version that you can also dock. So it's like, I think it's just a pain in the ass to have to to put. See, I think in my mind, if I were to do a PS6 or an Xbox handheld, I would sell two different docks by the Xbox brand and the PlayStation brand. One cheaper dock called the digital only dock, that where you would hook up your handheld to on the dock and convert it into, and get all the things that you want to make it so it has so little nice little neat stand and all that stuff that would go directly to your monitor TV. And actually, in fact, I would bundle that one in for free with the console and also sell it if somehow someone, I don't know, wanted another or whatever. I would try to work on that. But the other thing is that I would also sell a disc version of the dock, not the console, not the handheld. The handheld does not need that. It's the dock that needs it. See what I'm saying? For me, it would be the dock that needs it, but for someone else, it might not be. And would I need it if Game Pass was released everything day one in Game Pass? Everything. Probably not. I probably wouldn't. I would. That would be the day that disk drives probably would die for me. On Xbox side, I would no longer need. I would feel like I wouldn't. What's the point? But like, but so, but like, because I have moved away, from it. What I used to do was all discs, and then I was all discs, and then I went discs and digital, and till I'm still disc and digital, but I do feel like a movement, shepherding, that one day I could, you know, go all digital and be absolutely okay with it. But for as long as I'm held to certain things, I have kind of no choice at times to go physical and digital, to lean on both. If Xbox and PlayStation truly wanted to shepherd people, what I see the C doing in my head, or codename C, the console version, not the portable version. The console version having upgradable parts to educate people. Like, you know, not like tear it apart, but like Lego. You see what I'm saying? You know how Lego teaches young kids how to build things. Like Xbox can start to teach people how to build a PC, right? By doing things like first ever console where you can upgrade your GPU in. Did you ever want to take your and put an entire GPU inside your Xbox? Well, guess what? You could do that with the console version. What's happened to that Pro mid-gen? Because if you've been paying attention, there's been four Xboxes, you know, already announced in some way of some manner. So it's like, and are they all going to come out? You have to keep in mind the original two that showed up were originally going to be mid-gen refreshes, what they originally were going to be. And the other one is this almighty Helix PC that I've been talking about for what I've been wanting for. Hopefully, it comes to exactly what I want, but with upgradable parts and stuff like that, and I think it's the way to go. And then there's the portable version with the dock, which is, you know, for um, convenience and even converting. I can imagine a box and having it so you could attach and detach even a disk drive, a GPU, like having it where it's like a puzzle, but an easy one for even a kid could assemble kind of idea. Like, I don't think it should be complicated because at the end of the day, console is about convenience, and the that's why people go to console and why they don't go to PC is because PC is very more demanding mentally, and console is less demanding mentally. So to bring those some of those PC features over, even adults will be buying that version because of oh cool, you know. It's like if I want a mid-gen refresh, I just go get a damn GPU. I could just put a GPU in this. There's a spot literally in my Xbox for an actual PC GPU. Like, imagine that. Meanwhile, the rest of the Xbox would basically not be easy to, you know, a genius could tear it apart, but not be easy for the average consumer, right? So it's like it would be just like fix things, like certain things that would become easier for the consumer and more inviting. Like, be like, look at this easy way to upgrade your GPU, you know, things like that, and RAM. Well, we'll see about RAM because that I don't know what happened to that, but you know, there's all these different things, ideas. I think a mid-gen refresh is kind of silly, but if we were going to do mid-gen refresh, wouldn't it make more sense to just sell a fucking GPU attachment instead of a whole fucking console to help out the consumer and to even educate the consumer? Isn't part of the mission is to self-fully make PC better also because this is part of the movement as well? Like, think about it, like Xbox to me is still it's both. It started off as PC, DirectX, and then went to console. I think it was born from PC and converted into trying to make something simpler that worked. It made things that people still were able to do that for the time. But I think now we're looking at what everything the competition can do, and I think as the console itself, selling parts like Legos that will attach to this console that I see in my head is not just convenient, like easy based on easy assembly, but it's also um, educational, like and easier to build. Because if it's not easier to build, it kind of defeats the point of a PC. Say I'm saying that's the point of console. The big difference between console and PC is that it has to be easier for the consumer. It's like teaching like Legos before someone to build a Lego car before they go out and build an actual car. If that's like it's much easier to build a Lego car than it is to build an actual car, right? Something like that. I could somewhere in the world I could see it still being difficult for someone. That's why I think I want to be able to make the console itself also more accessible for people who I my job, I guess part of my job is to think about things like what if Legos are harder than building a car, which is odd. That then what if Legos are still just as hard to build? How to make it more easier as well for those who can find it to be more difficult. You could say one day, if this works, PC will evolve into becoming more consumer friendly and easier, and people are like, what happened to Xbox? We'll see, because there's no Xbox without the fan base, or what kind of fan base. I still believe there's a place called with the console itself because you know if it's executed correctly, it makes sense academically to use it as for simplicity, but also as like I said, like Legos. I genuinely believe if you do not just PC like the PC and Xbox Store hybrids like Steam on it, but you also do hardware things that are simplicities like easy. Let me show you how. It's like in the side you hop in, read it, download it, register it. Simple. You know, stuff like that where you know you where you start to teach people how to upgrade GPUs. And in a way, I could see the console teaching PC how to become easier. Stuff like that. And then as the P version is that's really just the convenience of the portability, which I believe will sell. There's a mass market in portability. If you haven't noticed, I think Xbox, even though they did a partnership with ROG, I think they still should do their version of the next gen, just in a portable handheld, and keep the grips like do things like this, like on it, like keep because that's a big selling point for this. To be honest, like this handheld in general just feels better than most or all that I've ever handled. But and so it's like when you look at that stuff and you put it on a dock, it's like I think it in a way like if I could only get one or the other, I like the upgradable option for other people, which in some cases that's like a glorious build your own Xbox kind of thing, which is you know, and then you have that you could do, but the portability one does factor in also convenience. So I'm like, oh, if I could only do one, that's cool educationally, but the handheld is just way more convenient if I can just dock it and then just play and do everything that the other console can do digitally, software wise. So I'm saying where I just take it, pick it off the dock, put it on the dock to enhance it for TVs and stuff, and it just like makes more sense for someone who wants to be on the go, but is struggling to be on the go or wants to do both. Like, I could see people just buying that, and then seeing people buy both. Just one's going to be more portable, flexible for everyday life in a different way. The other is going to be more educational, like, um, as an actual console, but with also, parts that you can add to it, take away from it if you want to, I guess, depending on what it comes with. Probably not take away from it because I don't see the point in that, but like add to it like a spot, like spots like GPU spot, uh, like an additional spot for memory, things like that. Like little tweaks like that will teach people things. I think that's the way to go. So you think in advance of the fucking a tenth generation. Is that what we're calling it? I don't know, but or whatever. And to think about it like, how do I make this so successful that I can make it last 10 years from wherever I decide to release it on whatever day or whatever. It like so I can make it last longer. I think the answer is you build this console so you can add and sell parts. Then you'll never have to sell that console ever again to that same consumer. You will just have to sell them upgrades, hardware upgrades internally, where you purposely leave blank spots in the console for things that are purposely planted for things like why buy a PS5 Pro when you could buy a GPU that doesn't have to sit out of your console but can actually sit in your console. Additional GPU that will, you know, make your Xbox a little, will make it more enhanced graphically. And thing is, like, you could be like, you could do it right on day one or close, like in a way, like depending on updates, that you could do it with probably just about any GPU. But when the mid-gen talk start or the mid-gen refresh starts to talk, if it comes up, then Xbox just does a brand, and instead of letting every like just like instead of all these GPUs that you just like put in what type of GPUs the list, they put like Xbox on the actual GPU, and then they'll do like, see what I'm saying, and marketing like in the future, and it's like, but it's like, but you could, yes, use other ones. See what I'm saying? Like a light for those who need it. How many people would buy the upgrades? Well, I don't think it would stop the console from selling. Is what I'm basically what I think. Like even if there were like somehow less people buying the upgrades, because this is why you lean into making it so it's not like a PS Vita situation where it's like, oh, you have to have this type of exclusive card for it. No, it's more like